So here we go, Holland against Austria for the biggest prize in European darts, £100,000 for the winner, but for Michael van Gerwen, a history-making hat-trick, and for Champ-Suljović, a history-making first big TV title. Suljović has played beautifully throughout the whole of the European tour, deserves his spot. It's the #1 seed in Van Gerwen against the #2 seed in Suljović. It's the first to 11 for one of the biggest titles in world darts, and £100,000. Van Gerwen against Suljović. The world #1, the big favourite, but Suljović has already upset the odds today with a big win against Phil Taylor, then took out Peter Wright. Is this his day? Is this his moment? Is this Mensah's time?
Well, he's got to play at the same level he did against Phil Taylor by playing one of the biggest names in the world in Phil, and now Michael van Gerwen. He cannot afford to dip in any form on scoring, on the doubles, any part of the match really. Well, Van Gerwen straight in with 3 big trebles.
What a start, a 174 from Van Gerwen. Yeah, winning the last 2, lost the semi-final to Adrian Lewis in 2013, and then won the title in 2014, and again last year. Of course, last year, that memorable come-from-behind win to beat Gary Anderson 11-10. Because Suljović pushing all the way here. Mensah, what a year for the Austrian. Already up to #7 in the world as a result of his work this weekend. If he wins, he goes up to #6. And what price Champ-Suljović in the Premier League now?
59.
Well, he's got another few tournaments as well before the end of the season, hasn't he? The Grand Slam, the Players' Championship finals.
134.
And of course, the Worlds. He certainly earned the right, but you look at the scoreline there. I'm going on 93. Mensah still in the 400s. I know we're only in the first leg, but Michael already sending out a message to the Austrian who's boss.
Yeah. 18. Well, how about that? 11 dart leg from Michael van Gerwen. The defending champ is off and running in confident fashion, but this really is a big leg now. Has Mensah come down yet after beating Peter Wright in the semi-finals? Can he put a strong leg in here to hold throw early on? Michael van Gerwen, I'm sure, waiting to pounce. If not, this is a huge moment in the Austrian's life and his career. Can he handle it?
Well, we mentioned it just
134.
at the start of this with Jackie. Now, he's done it in the European Tour, where he's played quarters, semis and a final. But this is different for one reason and one reason only. When he got to the final by beating Peter Wright, the elation of getting to his first final, how long has it taken him to get down from that and then back up ready for this match?
Well, that is the big question, isn't it? I mean, the adrenaline was pumping. You could just see the celebration. Wife Anissa, Tarek, his son, looking on anxiously, but Mensah getting into it now, all right. Well, there we go. He's answered 1 or 2 questions with a fabulous maximum.
Well, he'll certainly feel a whole lot better after that visit.
60.
And only 60 from Van Gerwen. He has left the finish, but that's a great response from Suljović, and he's been terrific all year, especially on the European tour. But
170.
Well, he won't be taking the 170 out, but he's leaving something pretty handy.
121.
Well, pressure on Mensah already in this final. 2 darts at a treble. Well, he can still do it. Treble 17 under ball. Not this time.
52.
Some nervous, anxious darts from Mensah. Michael van Gerwen punishes as we knew he would, as we expect him to.
And hitting the double with his first dart on both occasions.
And that is a real warning for Suljović, isn't it?
Yeah, despite a maximum in that leg, still only averaging 74, so it just shows you that the rest of his scoring isn't quite there yet. Only in the 3rd leg, but you don't want to get too far behind a player of Michael van Gerwen's quality, as we know. too early in a match. Very hard to get back into it.
96.
Well, brilliant in beating Taylor 10-3. Held it all together in his semi-final win over Peter Wright. Has got to do it again here.
139.
Well, 2 good visits here. Got a chance, not just to get his first leg on the board, but a break as well. And then hopefully a hold. I know I'm jumping too far ahead, but all of a sudden he's back in the match where it didn't look great a couple of minutes ago.
Doesn't like the lie of that dart, so he has to switch.
64.
Good last one. Leaves him on a finish.
60.
Another poor visit from Van Gerwen. It's been a great leg this for Suljović in terms of the fact he has 6 darts now from 158.
Treble 18. Oh
Well, that's all right. Any double
next to his favourite double, isn't
any
it?
double will do.
Got to hit it though.
100.
He's done the hard work.
Gerwen has had 15 darts, not yet had a dart and a double. And Mencia breaks straight back. He now feels a whole lot better. He's into this match, his first major TV final. Mencia has a leg on the board. The confidence and the belief, I'm sure.
Well, he's got to kick on.
100.
Dug deep there to get a leg against the throw, and his first one on the board. But Van Gerwen homing in for a maximum. It's his first in this final. I'm sure it won't be the last. Back comes Mensah.
Well, Van Gerwen going for his 22nd
140.
title of the year. But he's also looking for a 4th consecutive TV major,
97.
well, TV ranking major. UK Open, World Match Play, World Grand Prix. It's been a heck of a year.
If he gets his consistent scoring, oh, that's a bad last one because it doesn't leave a finish. So it gives Van Gerwen 2 visits at 2-2-4 as a minimum. It looks like he's going to leave something pretty handy. Pretty handy it is. You like that one?
2 maximums in this leg, and Van Gerwen, by his very high standards, who had a poor 3rd leg, has fired back in some style.
85. Michael 44.
He started with an 11 darter. 12 will do here. Hits straight back, breaks back again. And now Van Gerwen throwing for a convincing lead at the first break.
Could spell trouble for the Austrian.
96.
110 average, just under at the moment for Van Gerwen.
84.
Well, that's in the semi-final when Van Gerwen beat James Wade. Wade just didn't have the scoring power to challenge Van Gerwen, and so it's proving to be here with Mensah. 111 average now for Van Gerwen in this European Championship final, the 9th European Championship. Mensah with another 140.
Well, 519s will leave 170. That's the reason he's gone downstairs.
133.
That leaves an even better finish. One of the favourites, 132. The bull route.
Well, Michael Van Gerwen, talk about the darting wow factor.
85. Michael
A showpiece finish.
Well, didn't need to go for that route.
Still needs a ton.
Well, Suljović back on
16.
192, but 72 isn't a gimme.
No.
Certainly had one of the weekends of his life.
72.
Stay there for tops. Tops for 4-1.
Michael van Gerwen looking for a hat-trick of European Championship titles, and Michael van Gerwen establishes a commanding lead over the Austrian Champ-Suljović. Suljović, in his first big TV final, has it all to do. Van Gerwen 4-1 up in a race to 11 to be crowned the champion. For the giant Austrian, we shall see. We know he has the game, but has he got the consistency to challenge a Van Gerwen, who's averaging 108, 4 out of 5 on the doubles, and looking
16.
really fired up. It may well be that Mencia will have to settle for a first major final.
80.
Well, for Michael van Gerwen, he's been here so many times, he'll just have the same mindset. From Mencia's point of view, he's 4-1 down here. He knows he's not got to the level which has got him to this final, but he knows there's something left in the tank.
59.
Can he pull it out? He's got to do it pretty soon. And I noticed he started to slow himself down a little bit, which he hasn't done all weekend.
He's cutting a dejected figure on the stage, and another 174 from Michael van Gerwen won't help matters either. But I just wonder, the body language from Suljović isn't good. Is he already thinking that
100.
it's not going to be his night after all?
It's a hard mindset to get away from as well. It really is. When your opponent's hitting absolutely everything, we expect it from Michael van Gerwen because of the level he's produced over the last few years. So in the back of Mencia's mind, he's thinking he's going to be doing it all the way through this match. How am I going to get myself back into this game? Difficult.
Double 18 now for Michael van Gerwen. Amazing from the world number one. 110.5 average, 5 out of 6 on the doubles. Another break of throw, 5-1. I just wonder whether Mencia's mindset anyway, coming into this final, that he'd done enough. Of course he wanted to win, of course he was going to try and win, but happy and satisfied to reach a major final after beating Taylor and Wright today. And at the moment, Michael van Gerwen, too good. Far too good.
Well, he is consistent on every occasion, really, isn't he? It's relentless on times.
66.
Difficult to know what you can do about it. You've just got to play better, I suppose.
134.
You just can't compete if you meant to Suljović against this. He's on a possible 11 darter again here, Michael van Gerwen. I think the writing was on the wall as early as the second leg, when we saw a maximum from Mencia, but not a lot else. And I think he looks already resigned to his fate. Well, 12 darter will do. It's 6-1. It's becoming a procession. And you've got to give credit to Michael van Gerwen. He has played brilliantly. 112.5 average in a major TV final, but he's been focused and he has been exceptional.
He wants to win everything, doesn't he? But if you look at Mencia's average there, 83. You know, he's averaged 104 in the first round, 100, 105 against
99.
Taylor, 97 in the semi-final. So it's a massive dip in scoring, because he's only had one dart at the double and he's hit it.
140.
That's better.
Well, remember, Michael van Gerwen, going all the way back to Friday night on the opening day, he survived a match dart from Simon Whitlock, back-to-back 140s for Mencia, and he came from behind to win as well. Whitlock, remember, missed double 15 for a 150 finish to beat van Gerwen in a deciding leg. But you have to say, since then, Van Gerwen just hasn't been pushed. He's just been too good.
Yeah, I expected a little bit more from Klaassen in the quarter-finals, but just shy of 107 average from Van Gerwen. He really fired up for that one, wasn't he? Well, he's fired up for this one. He hits double top. There we go. 157 finish. We've had a 93, 110.
Well, he could be on the way as well to a record average in a major TV final. 114 the average at the moment.
57.
That's taken a hit with that visit. But if you're Champ-Suljović and you've left a finish on a one-dart finish, and you see your opponent take that out, and you know that it's the end of the road.
58.
You just get very little opportunity, don't you, when somebody's playing at this level.
Well, he will take this forward. He'll take it to the World Series finals next weekend. He'll take it to the Grand Slam, and then he'll take it to the Ali Pali, the World Championship. And you know, for me, that's where it's all going to count for Michael van Gerwen. A third 180. But his mindset is, great year it's been, lots of titles I've won. But if I don't win the World Championship, then the year has been
85.
a failure.
Yeah, I'm sure you'll be thinking that.
That's the sign of a champ, though.
Well, he's just playing so well, isn't he? You just almost don't expect it. The level he plays at is beyond everybody else. The only one on top of his game that can probably beat him is Gary Anderson, Phil
60.
Taylor,
Michael requires 72.
possibly Adrian Lewis.
Double 12 it is, and another brilliant finish from Michael van Gerwen. It's been an astonishing performance from the very best in the world at the moment. Of that, there is no doubt whatsoever. 80% checkout success rate for Michael van Gerwen, and an average of 113.
134.
Well, in this session, 110 finish, 93 finish, 157 finish, 72 finish. He's just not putting a foot wrong, is he?
100.
One dart double for Mencia, and one hit. Well, you have to say this is as good as it gets. 115.29 is now the average for Michael van Gerwen.
140.
How long can he stay at the top, Stuart? How long?
As long as he wants, is the answer.
Just checking. May go for 18s, yeah.
57.
Leaves himself a decent finish on 130. And Mensah. Oh, bit disappointed with that. You can see him looking to the skies for inspiration.
Well, Mencia's consolation will be a cheque for £40,000, the biggest prize money cheque of his career, a place in the top 8 in the world, and one of the best weekends of his career, the best weekend of his career. And he's going to have a chance here to win a second leg.
Well, he's certainly put himself on the big map, hasn't he? More than... Well, who will want to draw him in the next few tournaments? The way he's playing.
So double 16 for Mencia.
20.
Well, those two darts rather summing up Mencia's fortunes in this final. Ruthless, brilliant, magnificent from Michael van Gerwen. 112.53 the average, 9 out of 12 on the doubles, and Michael van Gerwen is closing in on a hat-trick of European Championship titles. Just too good. 9-1, he leads Champ-Suljović.
2 legs away now from the European Championship hat-trick, in theory, as unless Champ-Suljović can pull some of his recent exceptional form out the bag. We shall see. We've got a change in commentary team, but how long will they get, I wonder? They're fresh and raring to go. It's Chris Mason and John Rawling.
Raring to go, certainly. I'm not convinced that the larynx is going to take too much of a battering. I think this will not take long. You could see what he's thinking about straight away. He's annoyed that it was outside the treble. He wants to finish this in style with the big one.
Well, watching it from the crowd, it looked good. Now looking at the stats, oh goodness, 113.15 average for Michael.
I think I'm right in saying that his highest ever average in winning this European Championship, 111. And he's now at 114.61. Wow.
Unplayable.
60. $135. Michael 46.
He has been brilliant all weekend, double 16, and now he's within one.
Yeah, lovely 11-dart leg.
Won all the major TV ranking titles since the World Championship, as well as the Premier League. And now looking for his third consecutive victory in this event. And his 22nd tournament win of the year. Just a breathtaking record. Just time for a word, though, on Champ-Suljović. He's been a bit of a revelation to some people this weekend, and at last has reached his major championship final. He's not the first one, though, to have got battered by Van Gerwen like this.
Well, he won't be the last, but Suljović showed over the weekend that he belongs and potentially maybe looked at as a Premier League player.
He was superb against Phil Taylor, absolutely superb.
Not been able to replicate that, but his first three averages all over 100.
Van Gerwen moving in now. He's on a finish, 149. He's had a 157 and a 110 already in this match. Is he going to get it now? Well, there's the answer, no. But he's a mile in front and heading for another break of throw. 2 darts away from it.
Yep, prolific.
85.
Here we go then, is this the moment? Oh, and again.
74.
Looking for the double 18 finish.
That would have been a bit of a showstopper. A mile away to win it.
Wasn't a mile away, was he?
No.
Right, double 9, I assume. And there it is. Van Gerwen does it again, holds up his 3 fingers and knows now that he has the hat-trick of victories.
Yep, does the three-peat. Been the best player from the very start of this tournament. Tournament average of 105.31, a match average of 111.62. Outstanding.
Yeah, outstanding performance from Michael Van Gerwen. Brilliant. And there's the statistic that tells it all. Michael Van Gerwen taking it 11-1. What a performance it was. What a performance.